Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Zapped. This is definitely not the, 1980-something film from 1982 with an exclamation point at the end. It is not that film. If you're old enough to be me, or old enough as whatever, if you know that movie starring Scott Baio and Willie Ames, it is definitely not that film. This is from 2014 and stars Zendaya. This is a Disney Channel movie. Do not watch that old one. They both found Jesus since, but that one is about having the powers to zap clothes off of women. Yeah. It was a trend. Sexual harassment as comedy, sexual assault as comedy, was big in the 80s. It's in all the films. Don't check it out. 2014, it's an hour and 36 minutes long, and we get Zendaya. We start the film out. I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but I'm going to give you the premise. Zendaya is a teenage girl whose mom has just married a new man, and along with it, she gets 3 new brothers, ranging from teenager down to middle school, elementary school kid, and a dog who's also male. She's really, after years of just being her and her mom, she's having difficulty getting used to living with all these boys, and they each have their own way of annoying her and just getting under her feet and just getting in the way. And this movie is pretty much about how just horrible guys are for the most part. But she also has to move to a new school because her new stepdad is the coach for a basketball team there, something like that. So she's a new girl in school, and she's immediately just walking to the school from the bus or whatever it is, from the bus to the front door. It's literally, why isn't her her stepdad driving her there with the other ones? I don't know. But either way, she's got to be able to run the gauntlet. She's running the gauntlet on the kind of environment she's walking into. This looks like the Pacific Northwest. It's kind of rainy. It's lots of wooded areas around the school. It feels like the high school they used in Twilight. I don't know. It could be, could not be. I've only seen one Twilight movie, and it just had that kind of vibe. No vampires in this one though. She just walking to the school, she runs into every single one of the cliques. They're just clustered together for her to observe them and for us to observe them. And most of them involve boys. There's some that do not bathe, like a collection of boys who just do not bathe, and they're scungy and they smell bad. There's another group of boys that are, one led by a guy who speaks about himself in the third person and farts on her. There's a lot of smells in this one. It's just just really turning your stomach. And there's others that, honestly, I can't remember half of them. They're just reprehensible, just awful in so many different ways. And she just feels an assault, not just at home, but at school, against everything just coming at her. She's just so feminine, and she's Zendaya. And she's just surrounded by all of this gross boyness. So she gets and of course she gets into school, and she's kind of, trying to fit in. Real quick, she ends up making friends with a girl who apparently also has no friends. She seems kind and friendly, and they have things in common. They both like to dance, but yeah, she's probably one of the nerds, of course. And soon after, before they even get to dance class, she meets. She ends up going to a couple of wrong classrooms, but she meets, of course, the girl who's in charge of the dance team, which is always a very snooty blonde. Every Disney Channel movie, for the most part, with a female protagonist, which is usually the situation, it has a very snooty, full of herself blonde bully type that looks down on everybody, and has usually a sidekick that's a person of color who she treats horribly. In this case, is a young Asian woman who she's meant to be like an echo of like or a validator of what the bad blonde girl is all about, and yeah, just so it doesn't seem like it's a racial thing against Zendaya. So they're both just bad blonde girl bully says something, little Asian sidekick says the same thing. It's not racial, it's just they're cruel, they're full of themselves, and the other one just follows along. I mean, really, it's the blonde, and then the little one follows along. So, because she wants acceptance as well. So this whole thing, we're not even getting to the premise yet. Where that other movie had, I'm not even going to say it anymore. This one, the most important part of the title in Zapped is the middle. It's actually APP. It's about apps. It's about an app. Specifically, she wishes that she could just have a way to make the gross boys go away and the cute boy that she likes kind of, make a move, kind of ask her out on a date kind of thing. That's right here. That's what's his name? He is Spencer Boldman. Spencer Boldman is Jackson. And her best friend, by the way, is played by, why do you have such long names? Chanel Harquail-Ivsak? Yeah, Ivsak, sorry. Yeah. But yeah, you're looking at, Zendaya dealing with just the school culture. There's always bullies and cliques. It's just everybody's making the same film. Somebody, please. I don't know if there's, I realize there are cliques and certain groups that hang together in high schools that exist, but are they all cruel or just like literally the same person still? Is that still a thing? Does anybody have no individuality? I realize people through the generations have gravitated toward their own kind. The nerds are over here in the corner doing their nerdy thing, and the cheerleaders doing their thing. But is it really that like delineated? I don't know if I'm not gonna walk into a high school and try to figure that out, because that would probably be frowned upon. But yeah, I don't see it as real. It seems like a shortcut. It's a storytelling shortcut to give kids who would watch this, oh yeah, I recognize that some people are bullies and some people are nice. Okay, I get it, fine. It's not necessarily made for the highbrow crowd. This is not to say that kids are dumb, but it's a Disney Channel movie for kids to enjoy Zendaya being their representative in this strange world of gross boys. Now, she has a problem with the dog at home, and she wishes there was a way that she could control this dog from getting in her business and just getting out from underfoot, because she certainly has no way to control the brother who is just ADHD, just zipping around, trying to do everything. He has no focus. The brother that is always making gross food concoctions and trying to offer it to people, and the little one who is constantly filthy. He is just destroying everything he walks through. He's just caked in mud or just whatever bile that he steps into at any given moment. And also a new stepdad who is always loud in everything he does, especially when he tries to wake everybody up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a school morning to get everybody going and get things happening. She's just not used to that. But the dog seems like, gives her the idea that maybe we could just at least train the dog to do that. But what if there's an app for that? She's pretty much, on her phone, as most teenage girls would be, and boys. They're just stuck on their phone. Well, she finds an app that gives off a whistle or a certain type of thing based whenever you say sit or roll over or shake. And the dog actually responds to that. It's pretty amazing. So she gets this, and then of course the phone, while the app is activated on the phone, it gets knocked out of her hand, and it goes through a series of falls and bounces, and in the stuff that doesn't make sense. Her future husband got bitten by a radioactive spider, and that makes more sense than whatever went on in this. Tom Holland. The phone goes through a number of different electrical types of enhancements, and then gets dropped in the dog food bowl. I don't know if that has anything to do with the power, but it gives the app special powers, which she quickly discovers can control boys. Just boys, not girls, but boys, men, and anybody at any age, as long as you're male. It doesn't go into the details of that, so don't worry. As long as you're male, you can be controlled by her voice. So she just says, hey, quiet down. And that person is quieter. Do a dance, do anything, and she can control them. And it gets a little in her head after a while, where she kind of ends up using it for means to serve her own needs. That sounds awful. She's a bit selfish with it, as it tends to be. And they're even a little meta with this, because her best friend, Chanel, or Rachel, I should say, Rachel, goes, you know how it is in the movies when somebody gets like magic powers and they ended up just using them wrong and there's no way to fix it? And they think they're doing something good, but they end up doing something bad. This is the situation we're in right now. And they're like, Zendaya's like, no, I don't think that's going to happen. No, we're fine. No, it goes wrong. They've seen their share of Disney Channel films, so they know how this goes. So yeah, well, she can't use it obviously on her rival in the dance club, the dance group, the varsity. And she's super snooty and blonde, of course. While she can't use it on the females in that group, she can use it on the males, which she's saddled with when she gets rejected from being in the varsity because she's too much of a threat. So she ends up joining the varsity team along with her best buddy. And the varsity team is just a bunch of really awkward boys with headgear, and they have their own ideas of dance. They must be creative young men, but they are uncoordinated. And soon she discovers she can just tell them, hey, follow my lead, and they can dance just like she does, because she's really good. And she's Zendaya. In real life, she's a pop star. Even in this early stage in her career, she's a pop star. I don't think I've ever heard an album, or I might have heard a song from her, but do kids listen to albums? They just get to listen to releases that, I don't know, whatever's going on. I'm going to do this just in case this thing reset itself to go to screensaver after 10 minutes. So it got zapped. Will this all go wrong? Absolutely. She finally finds a way to bring her brothers under control. The really grossest boys, the guy who keeps farting on her, she literally changes whole groups of boys, from their bad habits with just a word or a phrase. And she's kind of getting drunk on the power just a little bit, but at the most part, she's still the good guy. It's just that when things get a little out of hand, she's got to figure out a way to set things right. And of course, as it has to be with anything that's in these teenage movies, there's got to be a competition. And so there's a dance-off that's scheduled during the basketball game, which is also something that brings in dad and also her oldest stepbrother. And there's a whole bunch of little storylines that come together and all take place during the basketball game. And they got to finish it off with the dance off. And yeah, I've told you the entire movie. Sorry. If you're a Disney fan and you've been watching this, you were growing up with Zendaya, you've already seen this movie. But for somebody my age, I was never going to watch this movie. As lovely as she is, but she's like 15 in this. So as lovely as she is, and I didn't even know who Zendaya was until Spider-Man. So that's. It's an entertaining movie, and she's always great to see, because the girl is obviously talented, and she's ahead of her age at this, because there's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad, but a lot of good actors in Disney Channel movies and doing the whole growing up in the Disney Channel she's had multiple series and movies and things like that. I know it just sounds like a suck up kind of thing, but she's really talented. She with just a subtle look, she can range. She can just go up and down the range, just any direction, and it's believable. It's not a put on. I'm sad. It's more like she's just got a more subtle take on these things, and she's pretty dang good. So I appreciate that that she's. I mean, there's plenty of some. I shouldn't say surprisingly, but great actors that have come out of the Disney Channel lines. I mean, I really like. Zac Efron is. I can't really say he's the greatest actor ever or anything else, but he's a funny guy. He's grown out of the Disney Channel High School Musical stuff. Or was it High School Musical or was it Camp Rock? It was High School Musical. So, and the Jonas Brothers are doing their thing, and then just a lot of course, Miley. She's a tremendous musical talent. She doesn't have to be Hannah Montana, and that's fantastic. And and Zendaya's obviously grown beyond this role, beyond the Disney Channel roles she's had. She's done some more mature things, challengers, I think you can say that, that series about kids on drugs. Why can't I think of it? But yeah. So, if I've just introduced you to the show of Zendaya with kids on drugs, well, at least I didn't say the name of it, and I'm not tempting your children to watch that. I say definitely pick it and check this out if you're a Zendaya fan, and it's a little bit of Disney Channel fluff. It's not going to be something that's gonna blow your mind, but it has a few little lessons to be learned in here, and it's a good time. There's some more absurd Disney Channel films, and this is not a musical, by the way, but of course there is at least 2 dance sequences at the very end, and they're impressive because the girl knows how to sing, dance, act. She's a infinite threat. That's what we're going to call Zendaya, an infinite threat. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 86. Okay. Well, this is, it's red, so it counts under the documentary and live performance or reality type of category. This, I think, is a concert. Yeah, it's probably a concert. I'm not sure who this is, but Disney fans should know who this is. This is Lang Lang Plays Disney. So we're going to get a number of, I guess, Disney classics, songs that you know and love, performed by Lang Lang. I think, is it a violinist? I'm not sure. We'll find out tomorrow. Lang Lang Plays Disney is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.